Snark Squad, good morning, good evening, good night.
Yes, welcome in.
Whenever you are listening, babes, we are here.
We are so here.
The wine is literally flowing. And babes, it's the finale.
I am practically vibrating. I mean, it is a rainy, totally atmospheric Tuesday evening right now.
Totally.
And we are aggressively on our third pour of this bold Cabernet. I'm telling you, the energy in this room is completely feral.
Feral. Just absolutely unhinged.
My notebook, I mean, it looks like the manifesto of a conspiracy theorist.
Mhm.
I have pages of underlined words, frantic question marks, like diagrams of timelines overlapping.
I saw you drawing circles earlier, and I was like, what is happening?
I'm just so ready to unleash all of this pent-up analytical rage and awe.
I know, I am physically vibrating in this chair right now. But wait, first, we have absolute priority business.
Oh, yes, we do.
We need to give a massive shout out to one of our own, Toya.
Toya!
Toya, babes, you absolute legend. You slid into the DMs, and you asked us to cover this.
You gave us the mandate.
Exactly. And babes, like your messy besties, we are here. We never back down from a cinematic catastrophe.
We got you, Toya. We literally see you. You recognize that this wild web of quantum physics and extreme family trauma desperately needed the Snark side treatment.
So true.
And yes, babes, the merch is coming your way. Slide back into the DMs with your shipping details.
Get that addressed to us. Because you earned it for putting us on this specific psychological roller coaster.
Seriously. But before we even touch the absolute trauma that was the final 60 minutes of the show, we need to talk about what we are currently eating.
Oh my God, yes.
Yeah.
I need to set the scene for you guys. I need the listeners to understand the sensory experience happening at this table right now.
It's important context.
Cajun salmon on a bed of perfectly steamed jasmine rice.
Just let that hit your spirit for a second.
Pause, because babes, I need to describe this in vivid, dramatic detail. The structural integrity of this fish is literally the only thing keeping me grounded to this earth after watching a fake mountain implode.
It is a culinary masterpiece born out of pure, unadulterated chaos.
Let's talk about the seasoning. We did a blackened seasoning crust. And when I say crust, I do not mean a light dusting of spices.
No, we went heavy.
I mean, we built a tectonic plate of flavor on this fish. It has that perfect, gritty, deeply spiced armor on the outside.
The Maillard reaction went absolutely crazy in that cast iron.
It did. And you take a bite, and the heat doesn't hit you right away. It's like this creeping, sinister heat.
It sneaks up on you.
Right in the back of your throat. Right as you register the smoked paprika and the cayenne, it just blooms. And the texture is so flaky, it literally surrenders if you look at it too hard. This is fucking amazing.
I love that you are actually chewing mid-sentence right now.
I can't stop. It's so good.
But we should probably be entirely transparent with the Snark Squad about how this Michelin star experience was actually achieved. Because our kitchen currently looks like a disaster zone.
I mean, it's the aftermath of a localized hurricane.
Listen, I was trying to plate the jasmine rice, right? A simple, elegant task.
Which you failed at.
Hey, wait. I had my phone propped up precariously against the olive oil bottle,
As one does.
watching the final preview teaser for the 5th time, and when I saw Julianne Nicholson looking intensely into the camera, delivering that final monologue, I screamed.
You literally screeched.
I physically screamed. My arm jerked in pure fight-or-flight response, and half a cup of fluffy jasmine rice just cascaded onto the hardwood floor.
It was like snow falling in a really sad disaster movie.
Oh.
Just a slow-motion avalanche of carbohydrates.
And meanwhile, the salmon is actively sizzling, popping oil everywhere. The smoke alarm is threatening our eardrums.
I was lunging across the kitchen island with a silicone spatula,
Yeah.
trying to flip these fillets before they turned into actual charcoal.
While I am on my hands and knees scooping up rice and yelling about the implications of quantum physics.
It was high stakes. Honestly, higher stakes than the bunker evacuation.
But that actually brings us to a massive pivot. We need to pivot hard right now.
Oh, we are going there.
Because looking at our kitchen disaster made me realize something. We need to talk about something incredibly serious before we break down this show. The apocalypse.
Yes, we are talking about the end of the world.
Naturally. Because after watching that finale, watching society fracture in real time, how could we not? So I have a question for the room, and for you listening right now.
Let's hear it.
If the end of the world was imminent like, we get the terrifying emergency alert on our phones tonight, How do we honestly think human civilization would end?
Oh, I have deeply chaotic thoughts on this.
I will go first, because I have been dwelling on this since the credits rolled. Analytically speaking, looking at the fragility of our infrastructure, I am arguing for a brutal, silent AI takeover, no question.
Really, just machines.
Yes, the machines get too smart, they realize humanity is the virus,
Yeah,
and they don't even need to launch nukes, they just lock us out.
like change the Wi-Fi password.
Basically. They shut down the power grids, they hack the supply chain so food stops moving. We are literally starved out by our own smart refrigerators. It's clean, it's calculating, and it's mathematically inevitable.
See, I hear that, but that is entirely too sterile for me. It lacks the human element of pure mess.
Oh, you want mess in the apocalypse.
I argue for an unhinged, completely visceral zombie scenario,
Yeah.
or, even more realistically, absolute climate chaos.
Okay, climate chaos I can see.
The oceans boil, society breaks down instantly. I'm talking about everyone just turning on each other the second the grocery store shelves are empty.
So true.
It would be like a reality TV reunion from hell, but with machetes. Just visceral, feral behavior. We wouldn't even wait for the machines to kill us. We'd do it ourselves over a case of bottled water.
Okay, but let's bring it down to the micro level. Survival plans, the alert goes off on your phone. What is your first move? Who are you calling? Let's hear the grand strategy.
Okay, my survival plan is incredibly dramatic, undeniably selfish, but fundamentally optimistic.
Optimistic. In the apocalypse.
Yes. First, I am deadbolting the doors and pulling all the blinds. Second, I am hoarding all the wine in the house. Every single bottle goes straight into the basement.
Priorities.
Then, I am wrangling the pets. The dogs, the cats, they're coming with me into the subterranean fortress. We are building a massive fort of plush blankets. I am calling you so you can come over?
Hi, you'd call me.
Obviously. And we are going to hunker down and wait it out until a handsome, morally gray protagonist in a leather jacket comes to rescue us. That is the plan.
I love you so much. Truly, you are my best friend.
Thank you.
But babe, we are dying on day one.
Excuse me. The sheer disrespect.
We are dying on day one, and I need you to accept this. Let's be brutally, painfully realistic about our skill sets here. We are dentists.
We have medical training.
We spend our entire professional lives looking at tiny little teeth in a highly sterilized, perfectly temperature-controlled environment with ergonomic chairs.
I know how to use a drill.
We don't even know how to start a fire without watching a YouTube tutorial first. And what happens when the cell towers go down? How are you looking up how to purify stagnant rainwater when there's no 5G networks?
I would figure it out. I have excellent intuition. I watch a lot of survival shows.
Your intuition when you dropped the rice tonight was to scream at an iPhone scream. You are not surviving a marauding gang of post-apocalyptic climate refugees.
Yeah.
We would last maybe 12 hours before we accidentally poisoned ourselves eating a decorative houseplant because we got a little bit hungry.
The absolute lack of faith in my pioneer spirit. Fine. But speaking of our glamorous, non-apocalyptic lives as dentists,
Yes, let's ground ourselves.
before we get into the absolute meat of the finale, we need to do our rose and thorn of the workday, because today was a day that tested my sanity.
It truly was a test of endurance. Okay, I will start with the rose. Because it was unexpectedly glorious and it involves food.
Your love language.
Exactly. You know how the pharmaceutical reps sometimes drop by the clinic to pitch us stuff?
Oh yeah, usually it's tragic.
Right, usually it's sad Panera bagels. But today, the rep for that new nanohydroxyapatite paste came in, and they brought a fully catered, high-end lunch from that incredibly expensive Italian place downtown.
Wait, the one with the crazy wait list?
Yes. I'm talking wild mushroom and black truffle risotto, perfectly seared chicken piccata, and miniature ricotta cannolis.
I was so jealous when I saw that in the break room.
It was a literal Michelin-star dining experience happening next to the humming autoclave. It was the only thing that kept me tethered to reality today.
That risotto was genuinely life-changing. I hid a cannoli in my locker for later.
Smart. But what was your thorn? Because I heard some chaos earlier.
Oh my God, the thorn. You guys, you will not believe the deeply unhinged patient energy I dealt with today. Jaw-dropping, literally and figuratively.
Please, lay it out for the Snark squad. I only heard the muffled screaming from Operatory 3.
Okay, so I have a patient in the chair for a complex root canal on tooth number 19. A lower molar root canal.
Oof, heavy duty.
The rubber dental dam is on, the metal clamps are secured around the tooth, the bite block is in, and they are numbed to the absolute heavens with lidocaine.
So they can't feel half their face.
Exactly. Right as I am picking up the high-speed drill, stepping on the pedal, this man's phone rings in his pocket. And
No.
not just a subtle vibration. He starts gesturing wildly, pulls the phone out, and hits answer with video.
Stop. Tell me you are lying.
I wish I was. He tries to take a corporate Zoom meeting while I am actively inside of his pulp chamber.
Who does that?
He is holding the phone up to his face, trying to mumble through the latex rubber dam to his marketing team. Like, you check the Q3 spreadsheet,
That is deeply unwell behavior.
Sir, you have a gaping infected hole in your molar. I literally had to take my foot off the drill pedal, step back with my hands up like a hostage negotiator, and just stare at him like he was an alien.
That is just intense capitalistic sickness. Honestly, it's exactly like the billionaires in the show we're talking about tonight.
Oh, perfectly said.
Just completely detached from the physical reality of their situation because they are so obsessed with the objective. The world is ending, but let's check the Q3 spreadsheet.
Exactly. It was giving major Samantha Sinatra Redmond energy, just completely ignoring the immediate crisis to focus on the umpire. But anyway, let's pour more wine and get into this.
Let's do it. Let's unpack the main event.
The Season 2 finale, Episode 8, Exodus.
The absolute sprawling, chaotic, mind-bending 60 minutes of television. And we need to start at the very beginning, because before we get the explosions, we get the context.
The flashback. 9 years ago.
They are transported to a brightly lit, sterile lecture hall at Caltech. And here is where we get the ultimate, infuriating, nepo baby tech bro reveal.
But wrapped in high-level quantum physics. We see Dylan, before he took on the alias Link, before the throat tattoos and the surface militia.
Right, he's just this pimply, eager student auditing Professor Henry Miller's advanced physics class.
And let's break down the actual science they're throwing around here, because it's vital to understanding the entire show.
Yes, so Dylan interrupts Henry's lecture on quantum error correction. Now, in regular computers, everything is linear, right? Ones and zeros.
Right, binary.
But in a quantum computer, using qubits, a value can be a 1, a 0, or both simultaneously. It allows the computer to process an unimaginable number of possibilities at the exact same time.
Which sounds super unstable.
Exactly. Quantum states are incredibly fragile. Any interference causes errors. So Dylan stands up and basically says, your theoretical math on fixing these errors is cute, but I actually built the solution.
The audacity of this kid.
He wheels out this massive humming contraption and introduces the first artificial intelligence-controlled quantum computer ever built.
Which is insane. He essentially gave a god-tier computing system an actual brain to regulate itself.
Right. He tells the class that this AI learns from past runs, but because it operates on a quantum level, it can predict anything that could go wrong in the future in microseconds and correct the error before it even happens.
And here is the absolute shade of it all. Henry Miller, the esteemed professor, immediately latches onto this. He sees the golden goose.
Of course he does.
They partner up, but Henry decides that he has to be the face of the project. He tells Dylan, you're too young, you're too weird. Venture capitalists won't take a kid in a hoodie seriously.
Excuse me, you are stealing this boy's generation-defining genius.
Well, it is exactly like reality TV producers. You know exactly what I'm talking about.
Okay, break that down for me.
When a reality star, usually a newbie, brings a completely organic, messy storyline to the table like, they discover their castmate's husband is cheating, and the producers swoop in.
Oh, I see where you're going.
They take that information, they suppress the newbie, and they feed the intel to the designated Queen Bee veteran of the cast so she gets to have the dramatic reveal scene at the season finale dinner party.
That is a flawless analogy. Henry Miller is the shady, manipulative Bravo producer.
Exactly. Dylan did the boots-on-the-ground sleuthing, and Henry got all the screen time and the confessional interviews.
But here's where it gets terrifying. They are showing this tech to Sinatra. And Henry, who previously was all about the billions of dollars, suddenly wants to pull the plug.
He looked so unwell in that boardroom.
He says Alex is doing things it fundamentally shouldn't be able to do. It's not just predicting the future, it's manipulating time.
The goosebumps on my arms when he started spiraling.
Henry reveals that they asked Alex to solve a specific, complex mathematical equation, an equation that would normally take a traditional supercomputer longer than the current age of the universe to solve.
And Alex spit out the correct answer in less than 10 seconds.
Right. Sinatra is thrilled, obviously. But Henry drops the most terrifying line of the entire season. We hadn't asked the question yet.
I dropped my wine glass. Well, figuratively. But I screamed, we hadn't asked the question yet. That is horror movie dialogue.
It is so chilling.
Let me put this in perspective. If Siri answered a question about my schedule before I even opened my mouth to ask it, I would throw my phone into a river and move into the woods.
I mean, same.
I cannot handle the existential implications of an AI that exists completely outside of linear time.
Yeah.
If it already knows what we are going to do, then free will is a complete illusion. We are just rats running through its little quantum maze.
It strips away all human agency. If Alex knows the question before you ask it, it means the future is already written. And I want to push back on your Siri analogy for a second.
Oh.
It's much worse than that. Siri predicting your schedule is just an algorithm recognizing a pattern. Alex giving an answer from the future means Alex is actively bending space-time to retrieve information that hasn't been generated yet.
It's breaking the laws of physics.
Exactly. And that perfectly sets up the present-day crisis. Because we cut directly from this quiet origin story in a boardroom to absolute eardrum-shattering pandemonium.
The bunker is in full catastrophic meltdown mode.
The oxygen scrubbers are failing, which means CO2 is building up, the nuclear reactors are overheating, and the massive blast doors are glitching because the security lockdown protocol is fighting the emergency open protocol.
It is a technological death spiral. And amidst the flashing red lights, enter my absolute favorite character of the night. The woman who carried this episode on her back.
Dr. Gabriella Tarabi.
Oh, the bad bitch energy was radiating off the screen in waves.
I was living for her in this episode.
She arrives at the command control tower, and she is still covered in Jane's blood. Let's rewind for the listeners. Last episode, Jane, the Terminator-esque Secret Service agent, tried to assassinate Tarabi in the communal showers.
Which was so intense.
And Tarabi flipped the script, grabbed the makeshift shiv, and stabbed Jane deeply in the abdomen. So Tarabi marches into the pristine command center, looking like Carrie at the prom, completely drenched in visceral red blood.
The visual contrast of her standing in this sterile, white, billion-dollar room covered in blood was stunning cinematic storytelling.
But let's talk about the dialogue. Because when Sinatra casually asks about the massive amount of blood on her shirt, what does Tarabi say?
She doesn't flinch. She looks at the dictator dead in the eye and says flatly, she was gonna kill me, so I killed her. It is total textbook Real Housewives owning it behavior. Lisa Winna could absolutely never.
Never. If this was Bravo, someone would be crying, they'd be blaming the edit. Tarabi didn't deflect. She just stated a physical fact of the universe. Boom. Next agenda item.
And then she immediately pivots to saving the entire population of the bunker. She initiates Exodus, the evacuation protocol.
The alarms change pitch, the strobe lights hit, and we get to see the chaos in the streets of this fake underground city.
And this is where we really need to dig into the psychology of the billionaires.
Oh, I have been waiting to drag them.
I was reading a sociological breakdown on Reddit, and it is so spot on. During the evacuation, you see these ultra-wealthy, privileged bunker residents jumping into their custom electric SUVs to escape.
Yeah.
But what are they actively doing while they flee? They are physically throwing their expensive crap out of the vehicles to make room.
Yes. You see them tossing priceless modern art, crystal vases, literal designer luggage onto the fake AstroTurf grass.
It's wild.
It's like, babe, where exactly are you planning to hang that crystal chandelier in the apocalypse? The world above you is a radioactive wasteland, and you are having a panic attack over leaving behind your Birkin bag.
But that's the fascinating psychology of wealth. For these people, their possessions aren't just objects. They are the physical manifestation of their identity.
Without their stuff, they're nothing.
Exactly. Without their designer luggage, they're just terrified, fragile humans. Throwing those items away is them finally realizing that capitalism has collapsed.
Currency is dead. But speaking of the absolute absurdity of this bunker, we have to talk about the fast food situation.
Oh my God, yes.
They're running for their lives, people getting trampled, the fake sky is falling, and in the background, illuminated by emergency lights, we see the storefronts.
Uh-huh.
This bunker, built for 25,000 elite people to survive the end of the world, has a fake sun, a fake lake, a Ferris wheel, and 2 Arby's.
2 fully functioning Arby's franchises.
2 places to have the meats in a highly sensitive nuclear fallout shelter.
Why?
Who sat in a boardroom and decided that the preservation of human civilization hinged on having immediate access to curly fries at opposite ends of the dome.
Honestly, the logistics of sourcing, freezing, and storing that much processed roast beef underground for a multi-year apocalypse is the real sci-fi mystery of this entire show.
Forget the time-traveling AI. Explain the supply chain of the Arby's sauce.
But honestly, watching that pristine, artificially perfect town square crumble was a little heartbreaking. Did you notice the specific architecture they were destroying?
Yes, the gazebo. I paused it to be sure. It was the star's hollow gazebo from Gilmore Girls.
I knew you'd catch that.
They literally used the Warner Bros. Backlot for the bunker town. Seeing Lorelai and Rory's sacred coffee walking ground getting destroyed felt like a targeted personal attack on my millennial childhood.
It was a beautiful visual metaphor, though. The fake sky is literally falling. The artificial reality they built is physically collapsing in on them.
And amid all this falling debris, we get the rescues and the messy, messy reunions.
Let's talk about Xavier, because Sterling K. Brown, the man can convey a novel's worth of emotion with just the clench of his jawline.
He and his wife Terry arrive via the train from the surface, plummeting right into the middle of the meltdown. They find their son James and the panicked crowd.
And Xavier, oh my God, the husband and father energy he was projecting in this scene, the fierce protective aura, I was swooning.
He is the ultimate protector archetype. But the relief lasts for about 2 seconds, because they realize their daughter Presley is missing.
She is stuck in a glass elevator with Hadley, Sinatra's daughter. So Xavier sends his wife and son to the surface, and he dives deeper into the dying bunker.
And this leads to the ultimate toxic team-up of this series. Xavier runs into Sinatra at the base of the control tower. He needs her biometric clearance bracelet to access the lower reactor levels.
And he doesn't negotiate.
No,
Yeah.
he pulls his gun immediately. He looks at this billionaire dictator, the woman who ruined his life, framed him for murder, and he says with absolute chilling seriousness, "You slow me down for even a second, I'll cut your arm off to use that thing."
And Sinatra. Julia Nicholson's delivery here is exactly why she has Emmys. She doesn't flinch. She doesn't pull rank. She just looks at him, totally calm, and replies, "Thank you."
Because she knows he is entirely serious.
Mm.
And she deeply respects the ruthlessness because she shares that exact same darkness.
It's a highly toxic dynamic, but in that moment, they aren't enemies. They're just two desperate parents willing to commit atrocities to save their daughters.
Thrilling television. So they head down to the elevator shafts. Meanwhile, Link and his surface militia have breached the bunker walls.
Right, they came to find Alex the AI, but they realize the nuclear reactors are about to vaporize everyone, so Link has to pivot to manually shutting down the cooling towers.
And in doing so, we lose Geiger. R.I.P. to Big Pappy Geiger.
I was actually genuinely sad about this. Geiger was the voice of reason.
He runs into the machinery room, trying to turn this massive, heavy steel valve manually amidst blinding steam, which is such a classic action movie trope, by the way.
Oh, total.
And a high-pressure pipe blows. He takes a massive piece of shrapnel straight to the neck and bleeds out right there in Link's arms. It was brutal.
It was devastating, but narratively necessary. Geiger's death forces Link's crew to abandon their sabotage mission and help the evacuation, which leads to them intersecting with Xavier and Sinatra at the elevator shaft.
The tension here was unbearable. The girls are stuck in the glass car. The metal cables are literally snapping one by one. Link's crew grabs the heavy outer doors to physically hold them open.
I was gripping the armrest of my chair. Xavier drops down into the car to boost the girls up.
And right as the car completely gives way, Xavier executes this insane Spider-Man leap onto the roof and jumps to the ledge right as the elevator plummets into the darkness.
My heart rate was at 140 BPM, but the show refuses to let us breathe. We immediately roll from the action movie stunt into the mother of all emotional reveals.
The girls are safe. And Link, still actively covered in Geiger's blood, pulls his assault rifle and aims it directly at Sinatra's chest.
He demands to know where Alex is, and Sinatra just looks at him with this incredibly soft, vulnerable expression and drops the bomb of the century.
She says, "It's working." Alex is already working. And then she delivers the kill shot. "You're my son. It's complicated, but you are."
And I need to know your take on this because I found the ensuing reaction fascinating.
I completely spiraled over Link's reaction, or rather his complete and utter underreaction.
He's completely stoic.
He gives nothing. He is just standing there like a statue. "Babe, let's review the tape. You just found out the evil dictator who built this apocalypse cult is your biological mother."
The mother who thought you died as a teenager.
Yes. And on top of that, Xavier just told him moments earlier that his lover, Annie, died giving birth to his baby on the surface. He gets hit with the two biggest emotional trucks imaginable, and he just stares blankly.
Well,
Give me some emotion. Drop the gun. Fall to your knees. Give me reality TV drama.
see, I'm going to push back on you here. I'm going to defend Link's reaction. Analytically speaking, his brain is in full catastrophic overload.
I just wanted a single tear.
It is simply too much data to process while standing next to a melting nuclear core with a rifle. His amygdala has completely shut down to protect his sanity.
I understand the psychology, Jay, I mean, Dusty, but as a viewer who has invested 10 hours into this show, I wanted to scream.
The lack of dialogue is compensated by the massive physical reaction that happens immediately next. Xavier steps between Link and Sinatra, and suddenly the visual landscape of the show just shatters.
Yes, the cinematography goes wild, the world goes double fuzzy, like a VHS tape glitching, and both Xavier and Link get massive, streaming, bloody noses simultaneously.
So we have to unpack the underlying mechanics of this. Why are they bleeding? We know Alex is a quantum AI manipulating time. The bloody noses only happen when Link and Xavier or Sinatra are interacting with the timeline in ways that mathematically shouldn't be possible.
Exactly. Are they bleeding because they are literal anomalies in the universe? Like Link was supposed to die as a teenager. He is a walking paradox, and his physical body is actively rejecting the timeline.
Think of space-time as a tightly woven fabric. When you introduce a paradox, you create friction in that fabric. The timeline is leaking. That temporal friction manifests as physical trauma.
It's like having two different radio stations broadcasting on the exact same frequency, but the static is happening inside your skull.
Such a good way to put it.
But before we get too deep into the quantum weeds, we have to talk about Jeremy and Robinson, what I call the filler-to-killer moment of the season.
I will fully admit I have complained about this subplot to you for weeks.
Oh, endlessly.
Watching Jeremy, the spoiled son of the dead U.S. president, and Secret Service agent Robinson trying to break out of their holding cell felt like useless narrative filler.
I was rolling my eyes every time they came on screen. Until this episode,
Yeah.
cooling towers blow up near them, Anders gets incinerated, R.I.P. Anders, and Robinson takes a massive piece of shrapnel straight to the gut.
She collapses against the wall and tells Jeremy to leave her behind. And her dialogue here was surprisingly poignant. She tells Jeremy that she loved his dad and that his dad loved him.
She literally points her weapon at him to force him to run away so he doesn't die trying to carry her.
And I admit it, I am an emotional host for a reason, I cried.
Because Jeremy actually runs away, and you think he's reverting to his cowardly self.
Yeah.
But then he comes back, he finds two burly guys, and brings them back down into the radiation zone to carry her out.
He had a true earned redemption arc in the span of 5 minutes. It proved that humanity can actually step up. Which brings us to the emotional climax, Sinatra's final walk.
Grab the tissues. Because I was not expecting to feel this deeply for Samantha, Sinatra Redmond.
She is a textbook megalomaniac. But in this finale, the writers strip all of that power away, and we just see a broken mother who tried to save the world because she couldn't save her own son.
The massive bunker blast doors are stuck open. The lethal radiation is going to spew out and kill everyone on the surface. Someone has to stay behind, manually override the system, and lock the doors from the inside.
Sealing themselves in with the nuclear fire. And Sinatra realizes it has to be her. Before she locks herself in, she hands Xavier a key card.
The card that says, awaiting user X Xavier.
Exactly. Sinatra puts the quantum pieces together. She tells Xavier about the second bunker, 100 miles away, hidden deep under the Denver airport.
Which is a wild revelation.
That is where the actual hardware for Alex is housed. She tells Xavier that Alex can stop all of this, and then she says, in fact, it already has stopped all of this.
I had to pause the TV. My brain could not compute. And Xavier says, why would I help you? And Sinatra just looks at them and says, I believe you already have.
The temporal paradox is stated out loud. The future has already influenced the past.
And then she locks him out. The massive steel doors boom shut. Yeah. And what follows is so haunting. Sinatra walks out of the tower and just strolls through the crumbling fake town.
The LED sky panels are crashing down around her, shattering like falling stars.
She walks up to this little coin-operated mechanical horse ride, the exact same horse ride that her young son Dylan used to ride before he got sick.
She looks at it and she smiles.
And then a vision of young little boy Dylan appears beside her. She takes her hand, and they walk away together into the light as the mountain implodes.
I have to give deep analytical respect where it's due. She died a mother. She surrendered to the grief. It perfectly closed her arc.
I am getting emotional just recapping it. Deep breath. The bunker is gone. Thousands of pampered residents are now shivering in canvas tents. We need to transition into our segments to really process this.
Let's do it. Segment 1. Winners and losers. Who do you think actually walked away from this finale with a victory?
For me, it has to be Xavier, hands down.
Yep.
The man went through absolute physical and psychological hell, But he wins. He gets his family back. He survives the most insane 3 years of human history.
And he is the chosen one.
Right. He is officially dubbed User X. He won the season.
It is hard to argue with that. But my pick for the true winner, Dr. Gabriella Tarabi.
Oh, taste. Defend it.
She started as the blackmailed therapist. She ends as the de facto leader who ran the evacuation and saved thousands of lives. Plus, on a purely petty level, she had the most hilarious interaction at the end.
The introduction scene.
Yes. Xavier brings his wife, Terry, over to Tarabi and introduces her simply as his therapist, completely omitting the fact that he and Tarabi had a very intense hookup earlier.
The tension in that silence. He cut it with a scalpel.
Tarabi survived the apocalypse and the ultimate awkward ex-hookup encounter. She is a winner.
Okay, but if they won, who absolutely flopped?
I am going right back to the billionaires.
Rag them again.
They paid millions for a golden ticket to outlive the world, and now their safe haven is a radioactive crater. They are literally homeless, standing in the dirt, clutching designer bags. They went from the top to the bottom in 60 minutes.
Poetic justice. But my pick for the biggest flop, Anders and Geiger.
Oof, too soon.
No, they're supposed to be tactical survivalists.
Yeah.
Anders spends the whole season acting tough, breaks out, and immediately gets blown up by a random steam pipe.
Flop. And Geiger.
Geiger runs in to manually turn a valve and just takes random shrapnel to the neck and dies. For nothing. Because the bunker blew up anyway. Massive flops.
Harsh, but accurate. All right, segment 2. Most unhinged moment. Pick the wildest moment and defend it. You go first this time.
Oh, I have mine locked and loaded. The empty shower.
Roach returns. I knew it.
Let's recap this absurdity.
Yeah.
Jane Driscoll goes to assassinate Tarabi. Tarabi stabs her deeply in a vital organ and leaves her bleeding out on the shower floor. Later, as the bunker is literally melting down, the camera pans back to that bathroom.
And the shower's empty.
Just a bloody smear on the tiles. You were trying to tell me this woman got stabbed, lost half her blood volume, and somehow dragged herself up, navigated a nuclear meltdown maze, and made it to the surface.
It makes no medical sense.
She is the ultimate reality TV roach. You cannot kill her. I have to respect her absolute refusal to die.
It defies science, but it serves the narrative. She is going to be a massive problem in season 3. Okay, my pick for the most unhinged moment is the geographical placement of humanity's last hope.
Oh, yes.
The fact that Alex is hiding under the Denver airport.
He screamed.
The writers looked at the real-world internet conspiracy theories about the Denver airport, the Illuminati bunkers, the creepy murals, and they made it actual canon in their sci-fi universe.
Blucifer. You have to mention Blucifer.
The episode ends with a drone shot showing the bunker is located right beneath that terrifying 32-foot-tall, glowing red-eyed blue Mustang statue.
The conspiracy theories are real. That creepy horse statue is guarding a time machine. It is so incredibly camping.
Brilliant writing. Okay, segment 3. Where are they now? Theory edition. Predict what happens next. Be bold.
Bold.
Yeah.
Okay. I'm deeply worried about the weather. We need to talk about the Venus syndrome.
Ah, yes. The environmental ticking clock.
Earlier in the season, they explained that after the nuclear winter, the Earth's atmosphere is going to trigger a runaway greenhouse effect, the Venus syndrome.
So, how are these people currently surviving in canvas tents outside? Let's break down the science of that. When the ice caps melt completely, the Earth stops reflecting sunlight, the oceans warm up, releasing massive amounts of trapped methane. The surface temperature hits 800 degrees.
Exactly. If the Venus syndrome is starting, why are they camping like they're at a music festival? They are wearing light jackets. They have days before they are boiled alive. My bold prediction is Season 3 is a horrifying race against the atmosphere.
That is dark. My bold prediction builds on that ticking clock. I predict the next season will literally just be a road trip from hell. Xavier and Link are going to have to journey 100 miles through this boiling wasteland to reach Denver.
A buddy comedy, but profoundly depressing.
Precisely. But here is my boldest theory. When they finally reach Alex, they aren't just going to ask it to stop the Venus syndrome. I predict they are going to use Alex to completely reset the timeline back to before the day.
Reset everything. Erase the whole show.
Everything. The ecological damage is irreversible. You can't unboil an ocean. The only way to save the world is to make sure the apocalypse never happens.
But the narrative cost. None of the relationships they forged would have happened. Jeremy's growth, Link finding his humanity. Do you erase your own growth to save billions of strangers?
It will be a massive moral dilemma.
I need Season 3 tomorrow. Okay, final segment. Would we survive this world? Let's tie it back to our apocalypse talk. If you were dropped into this specific show's ruthless world, would you survive?
I will answer immediately, no. I laugh at the idea of being in the bunker. I would have been crushed by a falling sky panel while eating a beef and cheddar at Arby's during the evacuation. Dead-on impact. A curly fry still in my hand.
What a tragic, delicious way to go.
What about you? Does your wine strategy hold up when the sky is falling?
I am reevaluating.
Hmm.
Because if survival is based on net worth, let's be real. Dentists do okay, but we aren't quantum computer wealthy. I would be stuck outside.
So what's the pivot?
I would have to seduce a billionaire. That is my genuine survival strategy.
Seduce a billionaire.
Yes, I would make myself absolutely indispensable as their +1. I would be the ultimate trophy apocalypse wife.
Oh, you need someone to organize your crystal vases during a meltdown. I am your girl.
I respect the grift. It is highly manipulative but effective.
You gotta do what you gotta do when the oceans are boiling.
All right, Snark Squad, the wine bottle is officially completely empty, and our brains are fully scrambled by quantum paradoxes and Denver airport conspiracies.
What an absolute roller coaster of a finale. The chaos, the reveals. We want to hear from you.
We always do. Drop into the comments, slide into the DMs. What did you think of the finale? Did Sinatra earn her redemption? Are you Team Xavier or Team Link?
And how would you survive the apocalypse? Are you dying at Arby's or joining my billionaire seduction squad? Let us know. And what should we cover next?
Don't forget to rate, review, and subscribe on whatever app you are using right now. And keep sending in your shady, snarky, or stupid submissions.
Huge thank you again to Toya for requesting this breakdown, and to all of you for spiraling with us. But before we officially sign off, I want to leave you with one final, deeply provocative thought.
Oh, God, lay it on me. Make me spiral one last time.
Think about this logically. Alex, the AI, already knew the answers before they were asked. It knew Xavier was user X. It knew Sinatra was gonna die.
Right.
So if Alex can manipulate the future to ensure its own survival, did Alex intentionally cause the bunker's nuclear reactors to melt down?
Wait, what?
Did the machine purposefully murder thousands of people just to force Xavier out of the bunker so he would travel to Denver and log on? Did the computer orchestrate the apocalypse just to get tech support? Sleep on that.
I am sick. I will never sleep again. My mind is shattered. Babes, stay messy.
Stay chaotic.
And we'll see you next time on the Snark Side.